On our wedding day in Malibu, the Pacific sun was absolutely blinding, washing over the edge of the cliffs. My bridesmaid Chloe decided to test Austin with 3 simple questions right before the ceremony, right in the middle of our oceanfront luxury bridal suite. I thought he'd ace them easily. After all, we had been together for 7 long years. I never expected him to fail the very first one. What's Summer's shoe size? Without a single second of hesitation, Austin blurted out with total confidence, "Size 6, definitely." An awkward, heavy silence suddenly fell over the entire room. Chloe didn't say a word. She just cleared her throat nervously, trying to mask the tension, and quickly moved to the second question. What's her absolute favorite color? Ocean blue. Everyone in the room exchanged frantic, terrified glances. He was completely wrong on both. Then came the final question, the one everyone relaxed for, thinking there was absolutely no way he could mess this up. What year did Summer graduate from Stanford? After all, we were college sweethearts. 2013. I literally ordered her a custom pair of crystal-encrusted Louboutins as a graduation gift that year. I am 100% sure. My gaze slowly drifted down to Maya, my maid of honor. She was standing right by the glass balcony, wearing a dusty blue designer bridesmaid gown and sparkling, crystal-encrusted heels. She bit her lower lip, whispering to Austin in a small, tense, trembling voice. Summer graduated in 2012. I was the one who graduated in 2013. Austin. In that split second, every single thing clicked. The very last lingering doubt in my heart completely vanished, replaced by a terrifying, icy clarity. I let out a quiet, breathless laugh, looked down at my phone, and immediately texted my parents. "Mom, Dad, get the SUV ready. I'm calling off the wedding right now." The entire suite became so dead silent, you could literally hear a pin drop on the marble floor. My bad. I just mixed up the years. It was 2012. Austin corrected himself coldly, shrugging his shoulders as if it was no big deal at all. Maya quickly forced a fake, high-pitched laugh to break the agonizing tension. Summer. Austin's just been completely overwhelmed with the wedding planning lately. It's totally normal to get a little confused. Please don't make a scene now. All our tech industry friends and family are waiting downstairs. Instantly, the other bridesmaids chimed in, desperately trying to appease me. Yeah, babe. It's your big day. Smile a little. You can punish him tonight. Don't let a silly little mistake ruin a $1 million Malibu ceremony. For a moment, I thought I was overreacting, but only I knew how much Austin had truly changed over the years. Years ago, if I so much as frowned, he would immediately panic, doing whatever it took, buying me random flowers, telling stupid jokes just to see me smile. But right now, his eyes were completely glued to my best friend, and he couldn't seem to look away. Fine. Let's go. I said it quietly. I didn't want to make things awkward for the high-profile guests who had flown in from across the country. I followed the timeline and allowed Austin to carry me out to his custom vintage sports car. As he lifted me up, He laughed dryly and said, "Have you been stress eating lately? You definitely feel a lot heavier than 110 pounds. 110 pounds. That was Maya's exact weight. He had literally just bragged about her fitness progress on her Instagram story yesterday. Have you been carrying someone who weighs 110 pounds lately, Austin?" I asked casually, looking straight into his eyes. Austin instantly stiffened, his grip tightening uncomfortably around my waist. He quickly shook his head. "Of course not. Don't be completely paranoid, Summer." Right then, Maya jumped directly into the passenger space, eager to clarify. "Oh, actually, I'm 120 pounds now, so it's definitely not me." I looked down, hiding my grimace. Guilty people always scream the loudest, but I didn't call them out. Not yet. I wanted to see exactly how long they could keep up this pathetic, humiliating show. Inside the cramped sports car, Maya insisted on squeezing right into the center area, sitting directly between Austin and me. "You don't mind, do you, Summer? The VIP shuttle cars are totally full. Let's just squeeze." I didn't say a single word the entire ride. Maya chatted away, looking far more excited than the actual bride, and Austin answered her every word. It made me feel like the third wheel at my own wedding. As we rounded a sharp corner on Topanga Canyon Boulevard, Maya suddenly tapped Austin's shoulder. "Austin, I'm literally dying for those honey lavender cupcakes from that boutique bakery in Beverly Hills." "Sure, I'll grab some for you." With that, Austin spun the steering wheel, taking a sharp turn in the exact opposite direction of our Malibu wedding venue. My brows furrowed. "Austin, stop! We don't have time. That bakery is 10 miles away. The ceremony starts in less than an hour. We're going to be late." He glared at me through the rearview mirror. "It's on the way. Buying cupcakes takes 2 minutes. Summer, you're just being petty because of those trivia questions in the suite." I bit my lip so hard I tasted blood, clenching my fist to keep from crying. When he got my graduation year wrong and I stayed quiet, I was ruining the mood. But when Maya wanted cupcakes from across town, it was suddenly on the way. Fine. If he wasn't in a rush, neither was I. After all, I had absolutely no intention of marrying him anymore. My phone buzzed. A text from my parents. "Sweetheart, the black SUV is parked by the side entrance of the venue. We're ready when you are." I don't care for sweets, so I just stood near the bakery entrance, watching them. The baker was incredibly friendly and offered Maya a sample of their new seasonal flavor. "Haven't seen you and your boyfriend in a while. You guys look so fancy today. Going to a celebrity gala in Hollywood?" Maya blushed, pointing a manicured finger toward me. "Oh, no. It's my best friend's wedding today. I'm her maid of honor." The baker's smile instantly froze. He looked back and forth between the three of us, his expression turning highly uncomfortable. "Oh, my bad. You two come in for afternoon tea so often. I just assumed you were a couple. I didn't realize there was a third party." The third party he was referring to was, without a doubt, me. I waited for Austin to speak up and defend me, But he didn't. He didn't care at all. Instead, he bought every single flavor of cupcakes they had, walking out with 3 giant shopping bags. I made one passing comment. Don't waste food if you can't finish them. And just like that, Maya burst into dramatic tears. Summer, I know this isn't about the cupcakes. You're just mad because Austin spent money on me. I'm so sorry. She shakily pulled 2 $100 bills from her luxury purse and tried to force them into my hand. That was the final straw for Austin's patience. His jaw tightened, and he looked at me with pure disgust. Summer, do you have any sense of the bigger picture? It's our wedding day, and you're choosing right now to throw a tantrum. Maya is your best friend. It's completely normal for me to buy her some treats. Normal? I looked at her, and I wanted to laugh. The Louis Vuitton bag on her shoulder, the Cartier necklace she was wearing, the designer heels on her feet. Austin had bought every single one of them. Meanwhile, in our 7 years of dating, the most expensive gift I had ever received from him was an electric toothbrush. Even the outdated wedding dress I was wearing today was a cheap rental I paid for myself. I had never asked Austin for a single dime. I used to think that by not caring about his money, I would get his pure, unadulterated love. How naive. In the end, I got neither. Summer, don't blame Austin. It's her first time being a bride, so she's probably just anxious. Please don't fight because of me. You know my parents got that messy divorce, and all I want is for you guys to be happy. I stared at Maya. In that moment, my heart felt like it was being stabbed by 1,000 needles. The year her parents divorced, she couldn't sleep for months. I was the one who stayed up with her, cooked for her, washed her clothes, and held her hand through her darkest times. I never expected her to stab me in the back like this. Yeah, whatever you say, I murmured. It took me a long time to pull myself out of my memories. By the time my vision cleared, the tears on my face had already dried. Back in the car, silence fell over us, but it didn't last long, because Maya was thirsty again. Austin, these cupcakes are kind of dry. I really need an iced matcha latte. Her voice got quieter with every word, her eyes darting to my face to check my reaction, but my face was completely blank. Austin hesitated for a second. Maya, we are actually running really late. But if you're thirsty, let's grab one fast. Just then, Austin's phone started ringing off the hook. It was the wedding coordinator. Austin, where the hell are you? The guests are all seated. We're just waiting on you and Summer. Austin ignored the calls, hit the gas, and sped toward the nearest Starbucks. When he and Maya came back to the car, there was a bright red mark right on Austin's neck. Noticing my stare, panic flashed through his eyes, and he quickly covered it with his hand. Bugs around here are crazy. Maya blushed deeply and nodded. Yeah, Summer. The mosquitoes in California are so bad lately. You don't think it's something else, do you? I shook my head slowly. Must be a really desperate female mosquito, biting people like a shameless animal. Their faces instantly turned pale. Excuse me, I need a cigarette, Austin muttered, stepping out of the car. A few yards away, Austin looked incredibly anxious. He whispered to Maya, "Do you think she knows?" Maya took the cigarette right out of his mouth and took a slow drag. "No way. She loves you too much. Even if she suspects something, she'll forgive you. I know her. She's soft-hearted. Years ago, when I got dumped, she literally skipped her final exams and flew 1,000 miles just to comfort me. I didn't want to hurt her either, but I completely fell for you." Her sweet words were too much for Austin. He blushed all the way down to his collar. I watched them through the tinted car window, their silhouettes, stretched by the afternoon sun, looked so intimate. The two people I loved most in the world had hurt me the deepest. I had spent years catering to them. It was time to wake up. I looked down and called the HR director of my family's conglomerate, the Vanguard Group. "Hi, Audrey. You asked me what I wanted as a wedding gift, right? I want you to fire Maya, effective immediately." Because she had failed multiple classes in college, Maya couldn't find a decent job after graduation. I practically begged my father to pull strings and get her into Vanguard Group. In just 3 years, she went from a receptionist to a junior project manager, her salary jumping from $40,000 to $150,000. I paved every single step of her career. But to protect her fragile ego, I kept my family's identity a complete secret, letting her believe she'd achieved it all on her own merit. Now, it was time to take back what was mine. When Austin got back in the car, perhaps out of guilt, he handed me a cup of black coffee. I grabbed this while waiting for the matcha. I know you hate sweet drinks. I didn't take it. He shook the cup, getting annoyed. "Take it! We don't have time for this." I completely ignored him. "Are you seriously still throwing a fit over some cupcakes and matcha? She's your best friend. Are you even a human being, being this jealous of her?" Austin was always so incredibly harsh with me. He would never dream of speaking to Maya like this. "Summer, I've been completely exhausted for weeks planning this wedding. Can you please grow up? Don't make me deal with your attitude on my wedding day." I nodded slowly, swallowing my tears. "Thank you." My voice was polite, cold, and distant. But it seemed to reassure Austin. He relaxed, turned on the radio, and laughed with Maya all the way to the venue. He didn't even notice the black luxury SUV parked near the side entrance of the hotel. He should have recognized the license plate. It belonged to my family. But his eyes were only on Maya, who had just tripped on her dress. "Maya, are you okay?" Maya pouted, looking incredibly pitiful. "This bridesmaid dress is too long. I tripped." Austin shot me a glaring look. "This is your fault. Why did you have to pick such a long style?" He completely forgot that Maya was the one who insisted on that specific design. "She's hurt. I'll carry her to the bridal suite first. Find your own way up. Summer." Before I could even answer, he swept Maya into his arms and walked straight toward the elevator. I gathered up my heavy wedding train and slowly made my way to the bridal suite alone. I could have left right then. But if I was going to run, I had to take my celebrity makeup artist with me. I was the one paying her. After all, when I finally pushed the door open, the scene inside shocked me. The celebrity makeup artist I had booked 2 years in advance was currently being scolded by Austin like a child. She looked like she was on the verge of tears. "Perfect timing," Austin said, dumping a pile of cosmetics onto the luxury vanity. "Maya said you gave the artist a different contract. You used the premium, high-end products for yourself and left her with cheap, knockoff brands." I stared at them, completely speechless. What kind of drama was this now? Maya wiped her eyes, fake apologizing. "I'm so sorry. Summer, I shouldn't have said anything. I didn't mean to steal your spotlight. I'll just go wash my face. I can go barefaced for the wedding." "Really?" I scoffed. I never told the artist to do that, and I would never do something so petty. But Austin didn't believe me. He thought I was just acting out. "Summer, this reverse psychology is getting pathetic. Do you really think playing hard to get is going to make me beg for your forgiveness?" I shook my head. "I don't need you to beg. What is up with your attitude? Just because I got Maya some treats. You do this. You made her cry. You need to apologize to her right now." "Why should I apologize for something I didn't do?" Frustrated, Austin tightly gripped my shoulders. His grip was so tight it instantly bruised. "Summer, I don't have time for your games. The ceremony starts in 30 minutes. Apologize now, or I'm calling off this wedding." I smiled for the first time today. A real, beautiful smile spread across my face. Austin still thought he could threaten me. He had absolutely no idea. I didn't care anymore. Okay. My nonchalant response pissed him off even more. He was about to yell when Maya quickly stopped him. "Austin, please don't. It's your wedding day. It's all my fault. Go downstairs and greet the high-profile guests. I'll handle things here." Austin hesitated, then nodded before leaving. He gave me one last, disappointed look. "Why can't you be more mature like Maya?" As soon as the door closed, I turned to my makeup artist and whispered a few words. She immediately started packing up her massive kit. Maya, thinking we were just moving to another room to fix my veil, waved her hand dismissively. "Whatever. I don't care. Let her get her makeup done first." The makeup artist just rolled her eyes at Maya's complete delusion. 40 minutes later, the grand ballroom of the Malibu resort was filled with live classical music and laughter. The officiant gave a beautiful opening speech, then looked toward the grand entrance with absolute excitement. "And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for our beautiful bride." Under the blinding spotlight, Austin nervously adjusted his designer bow tie. A bead of sweat rolled down his temple as he probably pictured our future together. 3, 2, 1. The heavy oak doors swung open, but there was no one there. The officiant gasped, looking at Austin's back, and whispered in a panic, "Where? Where is the bride?" Austin spun around completely. The long hallway was completely empty. In that exact moment, Sheer panic set in. For 2 full seconds, Austin did absolutely nothing. He stood beneath the massive white flower arch with his hand half raised, smiling at an empty doorway like if he smiled hard enough, I would magically appear. Then the whispers began to echo across the room. Where is Summer? Is this part of the high-tech ceremony? Austin turned toward the officiant, forcing a nervous laugh. She's probably just fixing her dress. Give her a minute. From the back seat of my parents' black luxury SUV, I watched every single second through the makeup artist's phone. She had left one tiny wireless camera tucked inside the grand bouquet stand right before we walked out. Maya stood near the front row in her dusty blue gown, one hand pressed tightly to her chest. She looked completely pale, but not nearly guilty enough for my taste. One bridesmaid whispered, "She probably just got emotional." Another laughed nervously. "Summer wouldn't really leave, right?" Austin called me. My phone lit up right beside me on the leather seat. I declined it instantly. His face on the screen completely stiffened. Then he shot a text message. "Stop being childish. Everyone is waiting." I turned the phone face down. Downstairs. Austin forced another laugh to the crowd. "She's just throwing a little tantrum." My mother went very still inside the car. My father's hand tightened around the door handle, ready to step out. I gently touched his sleeve. "Not yet, Dad." Austin looked toward the empty hallway again. Still no bride. No footsteps. No soft-hearted Summer rushing back because she felt guilty for making wealthy people uncomfortable. Then, the ballroom's massive projection screen suddenly turned pitch black. A heavy hush fell across the 100 guests. Austin's head snapped up in confusion. My face suddenly appeared on the giant screen, still in the wedding dress. Veil completely gone. Makeup clean, fresh, and elegant. Hair untouched. Not a single tear running down my face. I looked straight into the camera lens. Before anyone asks where the bride is, maybe the groom should explain why he remembered my maid of honor better than me. The entire ballroom froze instantly. Maya took one trembling step back. "Summer," Austin muttered to the screen. "Don't do this." Too late. I had done far too little for 7 long years. The very first clip played, the recording inside the bridal suite. Chloe's voice clearly ringing out. "What's Summer's shoe size?" Austin, confident and casual. "Size 6. Definitely." Then the screen showed a close-up photo of Maya's shoebox from that exact morning, labeled size 6. "What's her favorite color?" "Ocean blue." The camera cut to Maya laughing in her dusty blue dress. Then my text message to the wedding planner appeared right beside it. "Summer's preferred floral tone, ivory and champagne. Please avoid blue as the main theme." The final question played out loud. "What year did Summer graduate from Stanford?" Austin smiled widely in the recording. 2013. I literally ordered her a custom pair of crystal-encrusted Louboutins as a graduation gift that year. I am 100% sure. Then came Maya's tiny, trembling voice. "Summer graduated in 2012. I was the one who graduated in 2013. Austin. The camera zoomed in directly on Maya's feet, the crystal heels sparkling like ice under the hem of her dress. My voice came from the ballroom speakers, calm enough to cut like a knife. He remembered the gift. He only forgot which woman he gave it to. Someone in the audience gasped loudly. Maya covered her mouth in absolute horror. "That's not fair. It was just a mistake." The very next clip answered for her on the big screen. Austin carrying me to the car, his dry chuckle echoing. "Have you been stress eating lately? You definitely feel a lot heavier than 110 pounds. A high-resolution screenshot of Maya's Instagram story flashed beside it, showing Austin's public comment from the day before. "Still 110? Don't let those cupcakes ruin the number." Then my voice in the car. "Have you been carrying someone who weighs 110 pounds lately? Austin?" Maya, far too quick and nervous. "Oh, actually, I'm 120 pounds now, so it's definitely not me." The high-profile guests were no longer whispering softly. Phones came out in a flash, recording the screen. The screen changed again. Crisp surveillance footage from the upscale Beverly Hills bakery. The friendly baker smiled awkwardly at Austin and Maya. "You two come in for afternoon tea so often. I just assumed you were a couple. I didn't realize there was a third party." The third party, me, in the front row of the ballroom. Austin's mother covered her face in complete shame. Austin's face went bright, furious red. "Turn it off!" Nobody moved an inch. The clip continued relentlessly. Maya crying beside the luxury bakery bags. Austin glaring at me with pure disgust. "Maya is your best friend. It's completely normal for me to buy her some treats." Next, the Starbucks parking lot. Maya coming back with the iced matcha. Austin's bright red neck mark, his hand frantically covering it. "Bugs around here are crazy." Then my voice, light, calm, and utterly poisonous. "Must be a really desperate female mosquito, biting people like a shameless animal." Several tech executives in the audience made choking sounds, trying to suppress their laughter. The screen cut to the resort hotel entrance. Maya tripping, Austin carrying her away into his arms while I stood completely alone behind them, holding the heavy dress train in my own hands. "Find your own way up." "Summer." My father inhaled sharply beside me in the SUV. I kept my eyes fixed on the screen. Then, the bridal suite footage. Austin aggressively scolding the makeup artist. Maya wiping fake tears. "I'll just go wash my face. I can go barefaced for the wedding." Austin's hands slamming onto my shoulders, the expensive fabric of my dress wrinkling under his violent grip. "Apologize now, or I'm calling off this wedding." On the screen, I smiled beautifully. Okay. The entire ballroom was dead silent. My video feed returned to the live message. "You told me not to ruin the wedding." I didn't. I simply removed the only fake part. The officiant slowly lowered the booklet in his trembling hands. Austin finally moved, stepping toward the screen, yelling, "Summer, enough. Come back here right now and we'll talk privately." Privately. Men always love that word when the public truth starts bleeding. I leaned closer to the camera lens. No, you had all day to speak for me in public. You chose Maya every single time. Maya started crying out loud. Soft, breathy, completely practiced. Summer, how could you humiliate me like this? I'm your best friend. Perfect timing, my voice echoed. The screen instantly changed to the official Vanguard Group corporate staff profile. Maya, Junior Project Manager, salary band, rapid promotion history. Then, old private emails appeared in bold text. Please consider Maya for the receptionist opening. She struggled after graduation, but she's hardworking. Don't mention I asked. Can we move Maya into the junior coordinator track? I'll cover the training financial gap personally. Please do not tell her my family is involved. She needs to feel she earned this. Maya's tears stopped instantly. Her eyes went completely wide. When Maya couldn't find a decent job, I practically begged my father to open a door for her in Silicon Valley. I completely hid my family's name so she could walk through it with her head held high. The profile updated across the screen in real time. Receptionist, 40,000, coordinator, junior project manager, $150,000. I built every single step of the ladder you climbed. Maya, I just never expected you to use it to reach my fiancé. A live video call window suddenly opened on the giant screen. Audrey, the head HR director, appeared. Her expression neat, corporate, and utterly merciless. Maya's employment at Vanguard Group has been officially terminated, effective immediately. Her building access, company accounts, card privileges, and project authority have all been completely revoked. Internal corporate audit has officially begun reviewing all past expense claims, promotion records, and any potential misuse of company resources. Maya stumbled backward into a guest's chair, her face completely drained of life. No. Audrey. Wait. Summer! You can't do this! Audrey did not blink an eye. Security has already been notified to clear her desk. The window closed instantly. That was the exact moment Maya truly understood. Not the boyfriend, not the cupcakes. The elite California life she thought she had earned on her own had just locked eternally behind her. Austin looked at the screen, then at the shocked faces of the guests. Summer, this is insane. You're destroying her entire career just because you're jealous? Right then, my father opened the ballroom side door. He walked in without raising his voice, but the entire room shifted before he even spoke. Some people recognized him immediately. Others simply recognized the absolute silence that always surrounded him. My mother followed right behind him, her chin held high, her eyes cold enough to freeze every single flower in the hall. Austin's father stood up so fast his chair scraped loudly against the floor. Mr. Vance? Austin turned slowly, his face completely drained of color. My father looked at him like a bad contract he had just decided not to sign. My daughter was ready to marry you. You were simply ready to use her. Austin swallowed hard, stuttering. Sir, I didn't know. My voice cut through the speakers one last time. That is the exact problem. Austin, you knew every single detail about Maya, and almost nothing about the woman in the wedding dress. The black luxury SUV, Audrey, Vanguard Group, the massive venue discount he thought was just luck. The entire guest list filled with elite tech executives he had bragged about meeting. One by one, he saw all his bridges burning to ash. My mother faced the stunned crowd. We came prepared to walk our daughter down the aisle. Then she looked directly at Austin. We are even prouder to drive her away from it. The entire room erupted into chaos. Austin finally snapped, turning fiercely on Maya. This is all your fault. Maya turned on him so fast her diamond earrings swung violently. My fault? You were the one who kept complaining. You kept asking to see me. I was only trying to help you relax. You bought me those luxury gifts because you wanted to. You chased me. You literally carried me in your arms in front of your own bride. The guests gasped loudly. Several phones rose even higher to capture the drama. Maya's face twisted with bitter rage. You told me summer was boring. You said she didn't understand your ambition. You said after the wedding, once things settled down, you'd figure out a way to leave her without looking like the bad guy. Austin's eyes widened in horror. Shut up. No, you shut up. You literally told me I was the only one who made you feel alive. It was funny how fast soulmates became witnesses for the prosecution, the exact moment the money left the room. Austin looked around the room, completely desperate. She's lying. Everyone. She's lying. Maya laughed bitterly through her tears. Now I'm lying? You remembered my graduation year at your own wedding. Austin. That one landed beautifully. The officiant turned toward my father with helpless dignity. Should the ceremony continue? I answered before anyone else could. There is no wedding. The words settled over the grand ballroom. Clean, final, and absolute. Austin took 2 desperate steps toward the exit. I'm going to find her. But my father's private security team instantly stepped right in front of him. My father didn't even raise his voice. You will not chase my daughter today. You had 7 years to walk beside her. Austin stopped dead in his tracks. For the very first time in his life, he looked truly afraid. The screen went completely black. The ballroom lights brightened to full capacity. There stood Austin beneath the grand flower arch, a groom without a bride, a future without a single open door. Maya stood just a few feet away in her dusty blue dress and crystal heels. No longer the maid of honor, no longer the tragic best friend, no longer anything except a warning milestone for everyone recording. Inside the SUV, I finally exhaled a long, deep breath. My mother pulled me tightly into her arms before I could even pretend I was fine. I didn't sob loudly. I had used up all my loudness just surviving the day. I just leaned against her shoulder while the bright California city lights blurred outside the window. My father sat across from me, silent and furiously proud. After a while, he reached out and gently touched the edge of my white silk lapel. Sweetheart, I was ready to walk you down the aisle. I'm even prouder to drive you away from it. 2 weeks later, I attended a Vanguard Group women's leadership charity event in Beverly Hills. I wore a sharp, flawless white power suit. Not a gown, not a veil, and no heavy train dragging behind me. The suit fit perfectly, because this time, I had chosen it entirely for myself. When I stepped onto the stage, a massive wave of applause rose from the audience. I used to think love meant being chosen at the altar. I began, my voice echoing clearly through the microphone. Then I learned the strongest vow I ever made was the one I made to myself when I walked away before saying yes. The room went completely quiet, listening intently. I am not here to talk about revenge. A few people laughed softly in the audience. All right, maybe a little. That got a real, roaring laugh from the crowd. But mostly, I am here to talk about the terrifying cost of ignoring yourself. I ignored the small things because I desperately wanted to be easy to love. Wrong answers, delayed plans, gifts that went to someone else, public disrespect dressed up as stress. I thought leaving would make me look abandoned. Instead, it finally showed me who had been abandoning me all along. By the time I finished, my hands were perfectly steady. As I walked out toward the side entrance, I saw Austin and Maya standing by the security gates. They had been completely blocked from entering the event. They looked terrible together. Not tragic, not romantic, just leftover. Austin stepped forward, his voice breaking. Summer, please. 7 years. You can't just erase 7 years of our lives with one speech. I didn't erase them. His eyes instantly lit up with a pathetic flash of hope. I almost felt sorry for him. Almost. I simply archived them under lessons I paid far too much for. Maya's mouth twisted with envy. You act so powerful now. No, Maya. I act like someone who finally stopped lending power to people who spent it badly. Austin took a deep, trembling breath. I know I hurt you, but what we had was real once. Yes, and then you traded real for easy. I was confused. You were just so comfortable. Maya wiped under her eyes, looking at me with bitter resentment. Are you happy now? I looked at the two of them standing side by side, completely miserable, still somehow blaming each other with every single breath they took. I'm peaceful. And that was the absolute worst thing I could have said to them. Peace meant they were no longer central. Peace meant they no longer mattered at all. My father's car arrived right at the curb. I turned around and walked toward it without looking back. Austin called out one last time. Summer, I really would have married you. I paused by the open car door, looking back at the man who truly believed that statement was still a gift. I know. That was the exact problem. His face completely collapsed. I got into the back seat, and the door closed with a solid, quiet click. The next morning, I woke up late, made myself a fresh cup of coffee, and put on the beautiful pearl earrings my mother had given me. Not crystal heels, not dusty blue, not anything chosen because someone else loved it. Just me. Austin waited at the altar for a bride who no longer existed. The woman who left that Malibu hotel was not his almost wife. She was the woman he should have been absolutely terrified to lose. Like and subscribe if you want to be here for the next story.